First, we want to go ahead and cut our onions and bell peppers in strips. We want to start by adding some olive oil to a pan. Add 2 tablespoons of butter. You want to add your shrimp. Add a generous tablespoon of minced garlic, preferably before you add the shrimp. Add some pink salt. If you just have regular salt, that's fine too. Now you want to add pepper to your taste. Add about 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red peppers. Let's give this a quick mix. You want to make sure that you flip your shrimp over just so that they cook evenly. Now we're ready to add all of our veggies. We want to go ahead and give this a quick mix. Now I'm going to go in with a splash of white wine. I would say probably about 1/4 cup or maybe just a little bit less than that. Okay, now I'm going to come in with some lime, and I've got my lime squeezer I like to use. And I'm just going to squeeze a whole lime in here. Okay, so now we're going to add some lime zest, and I'm using both halves of my lime, and we're just adding some of this for some flavor. You want to go ahead and mix everything in. Once your shrimp is nice and pink, then your shrimp will be done. Add some parsley on top, and let's set this deliciousness aside so we can start on our sides. For your first side, you can make some white unbobens rice, which is ready in 10 minutes. For your veggies, you just take a bag of frozen broccoli, you put it in a Tupperware container with a little bit of water, put it in the microwave and cook for about 6 minutes. Add some salt and pepper for some flavor, and depending on your diet, you can also add a little bit of butter. Good morning, rise and shine, guys. Today we're going to be making a delicious smoothie. I'm going to start by adding 1 cup of crushed ice into your blender. I'm adding half a cup of vanilla Greek yogurt. If you like, you can also add up to 1 cup. Now you want to add about 2 cups of your frozen fruit or fresh fruit. Now we want to add about 2 tablespoons of honey, or you can also add sweet and low instead. Now you want to add 1 cup of your fruit juice. Again, if you have orange juice, I love using orange juice as well. Today I'm using a mixed berry juice. Now it's time to cover, crush, and blend. If you notice that your smoothie is very thick and you need a little more liquid, just feel free to add a little bit more of your juice in there. And there you have it, your delicious fruit smoothie. I like to garnish it with a strawberry, a blackberry, and just a leaf of mint. And voila! Beginning with your sauce, you'll need half a cup of low sodium sauce, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 3 cloves of garlic or 3 teaspoons, 3 tablespoons Marsala wine. Whoa. It's okay, I can use the extra wine. 3 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, and this stuff is really stinky, but it sure adds a lot of flavor. 1 tablespoon sriracha sauce, about 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes or slightly less, and half a cup of beef broth. Now we want to take a whisk and just mix it all up. The honey tends to stick to the bottom, so just scrape it off and then just keep mixing. Large pan, you want to start by adding some olive oil. Now you want to add your flank steak. Today I'm using some thinly sliced ribeye just because I don't have the other type of beef, but this will work just as well. We want to start by browning our beef. I'm going to go ahead and add my sauce in here. You want to add your frozen broccoli. If you have fresh, that's great too. And I'm going to go in with some snow peas. We want to add our red bell peppers. Give this a quick mix. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and cover this and let it cook for about 5 minutes or so, or until our veggies are nice and crisp. Okay, so if you add extra veggies and you don't have enough sauce in there, you could either double your sauce or just add a little bit extra beef broth. Okay, I've cooked this for about 8 minutes and it looks like it's nice and done, smelling delicious. Now you can make either some Uncle Ben's white rice or you can go with some lo mein noodles. I have found these noodles and they're pretty simple to cook. You just boil them for 4 minutes and they're done. Enjoy! For your healthy breakfast today, you will take an avocado, mash it with a fork, then spread it on some toast, add some salt and pepper, add a slice of tomato, an over easy egg, and garnish it with some greenery. For lunch, we'll start with a bed of spinach, add some cucumber slices, some avocado, strawberries, mandarins, and some slivered almonds. You can also add a few croutons for a little bit of a crunch. Enjoy. Today we're going to be making some chicken caprese, and you're going to need some chicken breasts. You're going to wrap them up with saran wrap and then grab your meat tenderizer and beat the heck out of them to let all that stress out from today. So to a hot pan, you want to add some olive oil, and then we want to go ahead and add all of our chicken breasts. Now we want to go ahead and add some of our pink salt to taste. You want to add some pepper to taste. Add your basil leaves. Now we're going to flip the chicken breast over and we're going to add the same spices to the other side. Now you want to cover your pan just to help cook them a little faster. Okay, so after about 5 minutes, I'm just checking on my chicken and I'm going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic and I'm going to get that all mixed in. Then I'm going to flip my chicken breast over just so that they can get covered in the garlic as well. Now we want to grab about 1 cup of balsamic vinegar. We want to get this all poured in there, making sure that all our chicken gets bathed in this stuff. You probably want to toss them over a few times. This will help with your chicken getting evenly cooked. It will be ready when it's no longer pink in the center. Let's cover this up and continue cooking until done. Okay, so once your chicken is done and no longer pink in the center, we'll be ready to add our cheese. You can use either mozzarella or provolone cheese. Today I'm using provolone. Once we add our cheese, we want to cover it and continue cooking until the cheese melts. You can also cut slices of tomatoes and add a tomato slice to each chicken breast. Once everything is done, you can go over with some balsamic glaze and just spread some on top just to make it look pretty. In a pan, you want to add a little bit of water. Then you want to add your green beans in here. Today I'm making 2 bags of green beans. And you want to go ahead and cover this and cook until your green beans are no longer frozen. Once no longer frozen, you want to drain the water from your green beans. Now we want to sprinkle some olive oil on top. Let's add some pink salt to our taste. Now we want to add some pepper to our taste. We want to come in with some garlic powder. I would say maybe about a tablespoon. If you'd like, you can also add some of your basil leaves, or you can also add oregano. Now just give it a quick toss. Move this over to one side just for a little bit. Add a little bit more olive oil to this side. I'm going to take some of my slivered almonds. If you have whole almonds, you can just crush them with your knife. Give them a quick pow! And we are going to let these get nice and toasty. Nice and toasted. And then we're going to mix them all in with the green beans. Okay, as my almonds are toasting, I'm just going to go ahead and grab my green beans and start tossing them all together. These usually come out tasting really good. I really like the way they turn out. About 3 minutes of cooking, it looks like my green beans are nice and done. Okay, so I'm also going to be making some white Uncle Ben's rice. These are great. You can just add 2 bags and they're ready in 10 minutes. Good morning. Today we're going to be making some egg muffins, and you're going to need about 10 or 11 eggs with a little bit of milk just to make them nice and fluffy, and then you just want to go ahead and whisk away. You will also need some veggies. Now you want to bake at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes or until your eggs are done. You can use a toothpick just like you do with cupcakes to make sure that they're no longer wet. And there you have it, a delicious egg muffin you can enjoy in the morning. Okay, for dinner today, we are going to cook a delicious steak with some roasted vegetables. Start by cutting our veggies. Ooh, check this one out. It's the shape of a heart. That is so cool. I'm going to save this one and not cut it. Take some respray, and you want to spray your bottom so your veggies do not stick. You want to make sure that they cook evenly, so do not stack a lot of your veggies on top of each other. Once we have all of our veggies in our pan, we're going to sprinkle some olive oil. You can be generous with this because we want to make sure we coat everything. Add some pink salt, some pepper, oregano, some thyme. You want to add some garlic on top. You want to use your hands. Okay, so remember not to overload your tray. I don't mind so much like with the bell peppers and the onions, but with everything else, you want to make sure that it's kind of flat on the sheet pan. That way everything cooks evenly. Go ahead and go with another coat of grease spray on top. Okay, so at 450 degrees, we're going to cook these for 25 minutes. So before you cook your steaks, they have to be out of the fridge for at least 20 minutes. I'm just kind of patting this because you don't want any of the moisture. It's always best to add your spices right before you cook them. When you're going to be pan searing them, going to add pepper. Now we want to make sure that we heat our pan. It has to be nice and hot. I want to hear a sizzle, just like this. And I'm using a cast iron. You also don't want to crowd them. You want to make sure you have enough room in here. Key to this is you want to let them cook for about 1 minute, and we're going to flip them over. Let them cook for another minute. Then we want to turn them on their side just like this if you have thick steaks. That way everything gets cooked evenly. Okay, I'm going to turn these over to this side. Going to add 2 tablespoons of butter in here, maybe 3. A tablespoon of minced garlic. And we're going to add that to our pan. After you put your garlic in there and your spices, you can also add a splash of A1 sauce if you like. And just kind of rub your steak in there. Turn my steak over. Give me that nice caramelization. My steak can get covered in this. Okay, so the next tip I'm going to give you is, when do you know when they're done? You don't want to cut through them. That's the wrong thing to do. Touch here. Touch them. You can flip them over every 30 seconds. So now I'm going to remove them from my pan. And very important, we want to go ahead and let these rest for at least 7 minutes. Once your water starts boiling, you want to set your timer to 8 minutes. Your eggs are done. You want to go ahead and scoop them into a bowl full of ice water. This will make them easier to peel. So you want to go ahead and start peeling. Take half of a banana, spread some Nutella. I have 2 eggs I have split in half. For pink salt on top, some cayenne pepper. Add a few blackberries to kind of just snack on. Day 2 for lunch is spinach, strawberries, blueberries with raspberries, and a balsamic vinaigrette for lunch. To a pan, you want to add some olive oil. Add your chicken cubes and some salt and pepper. Add 1 tablespoon of oregano and your sun-dried tomatoes, preferably the ones in a jar. Add 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes and continue cooking until your chicken is done. Add the spinach, tomatoes, and mushrooms. More salt if you need it. Pepper. Really don't want to add too much pepper because you do have the red pepper flakes in there. And you can also add a little bit more basil leaves. I just added all of my other veggies, so I decided to put a little bit more in there. I've got some water boiling. I have added some olive oil so it doesn't stick. And you want to go ahead and add your spaghetti. Cook according to your box directions. Once your spaghetti is done, you want to go ahead and pour it into your pan. After you toss everything in there, take a lemon squeezer and squeeze a lime. This is optional, you don't have to do it, but I like a little bit of zest. And then you're going to add a little bit more olive oil, and then we're just going to toss it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.